Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Brad and I are continuing our top 100 games of all time. I'm so stupid. It's 7 a.m. And I just got done working all night because I work at night. So that's where I'm at. We are doing 80 through 71, the third installment. Yeah, this one's gonna be a banger, I think.
This,
Um,
yeah, this one is an interesting set of 10 for me
yeah.
because let's see, I have one that stayed the same. I have three new to the list. I have one that rose and five that fell.
God damn. I'm a sampler. I'm all over the place. I got four
Yeah.
that rose, four that fell, and two new ones.
Yep.
Um, so uh yeah. Yeah, Brad, kick us off.
All right. So my number 80 is my first, I believe, my first. Let me look here. Yes, it's my first strictly solo only game. Um, it was 76 last year, so it just fell four spots. Um, I could see it hovering in this area, but this is a solo game that I backed because I didn't really have many true war themed games. I know there's Undaunted and all that stuff, but this one is called Halls of Hegra,
Oh
and
yeah.
and this one had a unique World War II theme to it because you are playing a group of Norwegians, the Norwegian army, which you don't hear a whole lot about, in the World War II stuff that you have learned. But pretty much what you're doing here is it's it's worker placement, it's got some bag building, and it's also like a tower defense because the game plays in three individual
Jesus
phases, and then
Christ.
it's over. So pretty much what you're doing is you're trying to mobilize. So you're like digging in the snow, you're trying to um, get more ground and more of a better position and all that stuff at the top, because you're at the very top of the hill. Um, in a town called Hegra, obviously. But and then so you're doing all that. You're trying to get new recruits to help in your fight against the Germans. You're far outnumbered and outweaponed. So the Germans are just coming, and it's almost like a 300 scenario.
Okay.
Like you have you have your much smaller group than what they have coming, but you have the position built in, so you're trying to go. But anyway, so you do your mobilization, and then there's the village at the very bottom that will get attacked first. So you're trying to kind of protect it and whittle down their forces in a little bit and all that stuff as well. And then comes the final phase, which is the siege. The siege, obviously, a siege is where they just kind of blockade you out and try to wait you out. So you're preparing for all that early game, and then you're just trying to survive. And that's where you go in the game. I mean, you're hunkered down. You hope you got enough provisions and stuff, and you're just trying to hold out, kill as many of them as you can, and see what happens. This is the closest to like a true. Yeah, I think this is closest to a true war game, like as far as World War II. I mean, I have other games that kind of have that war game feeling, but this one's the kind of the closest to it because it has all the small bits. It's got the themed board, which is kind of cool, with like the
Hmm.
map and the layout, like it's their tabletop and everything. The art I think is pretty neat. And this was by a company that uh I had never heard of before. Like this was a Kickstarter that popped up and I saw it being so lonely, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this one a shot. And it
Dude,
actually
you've
ended up
never
being
heard of Peter Schanke Olsen?
no. But
Oh shit. Hold on. I got a demo of
oh,
this
Kill the
game.
King.
Yeah, years ago. I mean, 2016, so it would have been, yeah, in 2016 when I got it. Um, I don't Did this game actually get made? I didn't think it was
I
successful
mean,
on
it only has a
Kickstarter.
6.2, so I wouldn't expect it to be.
Yeah, I remember it not being very good, but obviously it's been almost 10 years since I've touched it. So yeah, but wow,
Yeah. But
that's
this
kind of
one,
crazy.
this game is an 8.1 with over 1,000 review
Yeah.
or scores. So I mean, this one's stood the test of time as far as, no hate crap on it and
Right.
everything. Plus, it's also a 3 point, pretty much a 3.4 weight, so it is on the heavier end of a solo game, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so if you're wanting something that's like, because most solo games, well, not most, a lot of solo games are just pretty quick and simple, you
Yeah.
know, ha has your AI, whatever. This one is if you want the next step up and be a little more crunchy and make decisions and stuff like that. Um, and this is one of those solo games that could take an hour and a half. You know, so I mean,
Okay.
it's not just like a 45-minute solo deal. This is like a true board game that's solo.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I've actually played this with two, oddly enough,
Oh,
but
that was this game.
what's that?
Yeah, same
Oh,
vein as Robinson Crusoe, This War of Mine, and Dead of Winter.
yeah, I don't know why they put Dead of Winter in there. That was kind of
Well,
weird,
it's
but
like I guess Robinson Crusoe because it's brutally difficult. This War of Mine because of the war theme, and Dead of Winter because I
because
guess
it's
it's
winter.
snow. Yeah, that's literally it. Are they Nazi zombies?
No.
Okay, well then I don't know why they got Dead of Winter in there, but
I have no
that's
idea. I saw
funny.
that too. But no, this one is just it's a really solid experience.
Sure,
For anybody that likes a little crunchier solo games, I mean this one fits right in that vein for sure.
nice. Yeah, I'd be interested to give it a shot
Yeah.
because it actually looks like a full-fledged game.
Yeah, it is. I
Um,
mean, this is its highest scored game. I mean, of those games you put down there when you
yeah,
clicked on the designer, I mean, this one's the best one. I'm gonna click on the actual company and see what they've.
Compet Games,
Oh, so it's all those. So it must be that designer must have designed
maybe.
all those maybe or something like that. But yeah,
Cool.
I mean, he looks like this is the most successful of all of them. So you know,
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, I know Dawning and Purple, I think got some, yeah, got some love.
right?
But yeah, he likes his history.
Yep.
Cool. Well, speaking of war, my number 80 is also a war game. Um, Probably one of the more thematic war games that like I've ever played. Um, like I mean, Halls of Hegra is I mean, it seems pretty thematic and pretty tactile. But my number 80 really pushes the boundaries on how thematic a game can be, and that is War Chest.
Oh gosh.
Uh, this is kind of one of those few games that did a almost a full 180 because whenever we had initially played it, you and I didn't really like it. There were a few things about it that just didn't quite mesh with me, but for some reason, I gave it like another go. Maybe it was playing with you. I don't know,
Maybe.
but I can't even remember who I played it against. But something else just clicked for me to where I ended up really, really liking this game. In case you couldn't tell, I was absolutely lying in my theme, in my comments on how thematic this game is or looks. It is purely abstract, but it is once this is kind of one of those games that whenever you get deeper into it, the the strategy and tactfulness of it really opens up. Uh, Given how simple the game actually is. Uh, but I'm a huge fan of games that you can just randomize your faction or randomize different pieces that would go on your side, and that's what you have to work with. And this game has that. There's a ton of different units that you can have on your side. Well, you can only have three or four, sorry, but you will. They all have different abilities, and they all have a different number of chits. And this is kind of a bag builder because as you're going through the game, you're going to be adding more units to your bag. So you're trying to think of what your opponent has, think of what you have, try and figure out how to counter what your opponent has because you're trying to capture these certain green areas. Um, I just absolutely love it. I think the expansions for it have been extremely solid, and surprisingly, there's one more coming. I don't know if they're going to keep doing more, but AEG is doing they do these weird Kickstarters of like expansion extravaganza or
Hmm.
Handy Monsoon expands a Paloo or whatever stupid shit that they come up with. But it's like expansions for every game they've ever made. And War Chest was one of them. And the new one, yeah, Tactics is what's coming out. Nightfall was their latest one last year. And then Nobility and Siege. So they just come with all these units. And what's cool is not videos. Gross. Unless it's my video. Um, yeah, here we go. Here's a perfect picture. Is that whenever you are drawing from your bag, you can add it to a stack of your units to make it tougher so they don't get removed from the board because these are like permadeaths. So once they get attacked and removed, then they're gone. So eventually you will run out of units to place on the map, and that basically just kind of hands the win to your opponent. But very chess-like, with tons of variety in this really quick and simple to learn abstract game, but has a lot of layers to it. So the one thing that I didn't like whenever we first played it was that it was like that coin. I can't remember what the coin is called, but it's like a universal coin that both players have in their bag, and they can only do very few things with it. And one thing that we like, or that I remember we wanted, was having that be kind of a wild, because kind of
Hmm.
once you have one unit out like this, they can't really do a whole lot. Um, but in later expansions, they kind of give that coin an extra roll, so it does eventually do more. But yeah, still not my favorite part of the game, but I've come to kind of understand that that's someone helped make it more thematic for what it's worth with a game like this. But yeah, that's my number 80 War Chest.
All right. Well, we're gonna go from a game that I don't like to a game that you don't like. Um, so, and I think you would like this if we played with more players. This game actually is the one that rose from last year, and it's because I got to play a five-player game of it not too
Oh,
awfully long ago. Um, it was normally a game that's been up like in the middle of my list quite a bit. It fell out last year, but then I got it played. So it rose what, 39 spots, and it's Spartacus, a game of blood and treachery. Um, and the box cover that pops up is the stupid one.
yeah, no, this is a
So
good one. It helps you forget about the shitty show.
I like the show, but
Did you?
it's
Never mind.
well, there's a new season that just hit stars. It's the House of Asher. It came back and it's got new seasons and stuff. But anyway, uh so this game when we played it at three players. That's not ideal,
This guy.
especially yeah.
He's,
Um
he's like way too into it.
oh yeah, they are.
Oh
But
God, I can see under their skirts.
But uh but yeah, this one is the more people you can get the better. This kind of has that, I guess, the same feel as any of those games like TI4 and stuff like that, where the more you have, the better the game's going to be. But this one, you're taking the role of a Dominus. You guys all agree how long of a game you want to play to start with. So at the top of your turn order track, um, you'll place that you'll decide if you're going to play to 10 points or 8 points or whatever. And then that's game in. So you can choose kind of how long you want the game to be. But pretty much what you're doing is there's several different phases on this, and you're going to be recruiting or buying stuff from the market. It could be your slaves, it could be more like basic gladiators, it could be really good gladiators. And there's also equipment and stuff like that you can give your gladiators when they jump into the fray. Um, but the way things are bought are by a hidden auction phase. You don't lose what you wager unless you win, of course. But you go through and you're going to do that. There's an intrigue phase, so there's all these cards that are like backstabby things, something that may help somebody else. There's just a wide variety. That stack is huge now because this base game only played to four. But if you have the other two expansions, it makes it up to, I think you could actually play up to eight now, I want to say.
God damn.
Because the first expansion added two more Dominus. I think the last one added two also, I think. But anyway, so all that you go around and around doing all these crazy things, backstabbing each other and everything, and then it comes to the end where it's like the the gladiator phase. It's called something else, Primus phase. So whoever because you do an auction to see who's going to run the Primus, and then whoever gets that gets to choose the two players at the table that have to put a gladiator in. So they'll put gladiators in, then everybody can wager around on the corners of the board, like money, depending on victory. There's decapitation, there's all these different things. And then they battle it out with these dice. Um, and the dice combat is interesting because on a gladiator's card, they have three different numbers on the left side of the cards. There's a red one, a blue one, and a black one. And then whatever numbers are on those are how many dice they roll. So both gladiators roll their dice, and then you match them up number wise. And if you lose, then you have to lose a dice out of that. That's how you take a wound. And then you roll again, move around, roll again. Your blues are your moves. Blacks are defense, reds are attack. And you just go through until somebody either gets defeated or killed or whatever. And the dominuses that you control, you have to survive the end of the round. So like let's say 10 was the final scoring that everybody agreed on. If they get to 10, you have to get through the Primus phase and everything with that number to win the game. It doesn't just happen as soon as you get there. So um there's a lot of stuff that happens, especially in a multiplayer game because everybody kind of teams up on you at the end. That's why these games take a
Right.
long time. Um the BGG says 2 to 3 hours. That's probably decent. I mean, I'd say three is the most, if not a little bit more, depending on your number of player count. But but yeah, I mean, this is one that I've always enjoyed. It doesn't get played a ton. It's kind of like my TI4. Like I only get it played
Don't
maybe
you
once a
dare
year.
utter
Well, no.
Spartacus and TI in the same
Well,
breath.
no, I'm just meaning this is that style of game that I only play like once a year, probably, just
Right.
because it's such a long game. It's such a big, you need to get
Yeah.
the right people at the table. Because if you don't have the right people at the table too, then it's kind of,
Yeah.
you want people that are gonna backstab. And I've said this story before that a couple of years ago I played it and I backstabbed way too early, and then everybody just froze me out the whole game. So you have to be like really, because there's nothing binding in this game.
Yeah.
Like you can promise anything and go against that promise
Right.
at any point. So you have to be more strategic than I was and everything. But yeah, I mean this one's uh excellent if you like these big games with deals. This one also has the standing rolls at the last battle, and it's the time for somebody who's going to win the game. Everybody's like up. The battles are always really fun. One of the expansions lets you have a 2-on-1 uh, type deal, as
Nice.
well for a Primus and everything. This one's
Yeah.
hard to find
I
now with the expansions and everything. But yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
just get X-Men Mutant
That's bullshit.
Revolution.
I played that, and that is nothing. That is horrible.
I don't even know how that's even tied
It's
to this
it's it's
game.
like it's the X-Men train school, and you're like battling to make
Weird.
see like you're using your powers against each other and learning and shit. It's
Even this
stupid.
that is stupid. Oh, it is Gale Force 9. No, I don't even know if I could enjoy this. I don't these kinds of trader games just I mean you saw in our game of TI when Devin worked with me the entire game and then the one time he countered my thing, I was like, I will ruin your
Yeah.
actual life. Like so like which obviously was the right thing for him to do because I was in the lead, but I was like, I will like kill your significant other. Um, and yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if I could handle a
It,
game like this where it's like at any given point where it's just like, oh, cool. You promised
yeah,
to not kill my best gladiator, and I paid you like 15 gold for you not to do it, and you did it anyway. All
yeah.
right, well, I'm just gonna go out. I need to go outside for a sec. I'm gonna slash your tires.
This is a very group dependent game.
Right.
Like when we played it at three, I know the player count was an issue,
Yes. Yeah,
but
that is very true.
you and I went to this game with a certain aspect, and your ex was not in the mindset for
Should have
it. Like
been.
she didn't
Yeah,
know
that.
how to. So that was another reason why it didn't go over great, I think.
Yeah.
And then I also one other thing really quick is at the end, like if there's not a death in the arena and there's a clear winner, then the person hosting the Dominus gets to do the whole kill him, don't kill him thing. So it even has
Nice.
that thematic stuff into it. So, you know, it's this is just one of mine that I'll always have, and it probably gets played once a year. And if it
You
gets
know what?
played the
I
once a
bet
year,
you uh at a max player count game, I would have a much better time playing this than watching Gladiator 2,
maybe.
your
Yeah.
favorite movie.
It's not my favorite movie. The first one is my favorite movie.
It's so good. Um, on a side note, have you seen Prisoners with Hugh
No,
Jackman? Oh,
I'm
well,
not.
never mind. Anyway, if anyone's watching this who hasn't seen Prisoners, you should go watch it. Fantastic. All right. Now let's move on to a game that I'm pretty sure you forgot about. Surprisingly, again, there's a lot of games that drastically rose, and I don't know why. Um, this game was 134 last year. So rose 55 spots, and it's not due to any type of frequent play. I think whenever I was doing my ranking, I just was, again, I think it literally just has to do with the comparison. Next year, remind me, or I'll remind you, we have to do two top 100s and take the average.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Because
Yeah.
I think we'll get more accurate results. Not that this game is bad by any means. I just don't know if it should be right here because I don't doctor my top 100. But that is Evenfall. Evenfall, man, that rise like butterflies.
This one was
Oh, oh, oh. It's
you need to get some you need to
7:30.
get some you need to get some sleep, man.
I know. And I can't take coffee because I need to go to bed because I work tonight too. Um, anyway, Evenfall is a really cool uh card engine builder game set with
Hmm.
I don't know, set in like some witch haven universe. I mean this game takes almost a lot of inspiration from it almost feels like Elysium from kind of I mean mainly Elysium. Um but also kind of Imperial Settlers a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Uh, but a lot of these cards are multi-use depending on where you place them on your around your witch clan, your coven board. Because if they're over here, like there's um two layers. Like up here is whenever you can actually use them for their abilities. I mean, you have to gather resources like potions and leaves and books to play them. Um, and some of them are instant abilities, some of them become worker placement spots. But there's a ton of one really amazing artwork, but really cool cards with amazing powers. This is one of those games that as you're developing your coven, you start getting a really cool engine for your workers because it's a worker placement game. But you have to get these locations to be able to place the cards on top. There's familiars, there's artifacts, there's enchantments, there's rituals, all this stuff. There's followers, things. There's just a bunch of different types of cards. But um, they go over here to be utilized, but then eventually you're going to want to move them down into, I don't remember what the bottom is called. But now that gives some use for your elder witches because you have these younger witches that go out onto the main board for like this area control element, and you're vying for some control over these different types of tokens, but You're also trying to place your workers down here to get the special effects, and also for each one of these that you win, then you get an extra benefit, which could be victory points, could be more cards. Um, get first dibs at the location cards that are up here. There's surprisingly a lot that's going on in this game while also being somewhat digestible. Um, for a game that's like this. But one of my absolute favorite things about the game is that multi-use element. Because even the followers,
Hmm.
where's that picture that I was using? Um, like the followers, they have two uses where it's like you can get them for their passive power if they're over on the left side of your board, or you can put them down at the bottom. Kind of that's where the Imperial Settlers thing comes in. Uh, for a like another passive, like almost end game scoring or like a passive ability that they have. So just the fact that all of these cards have tons of uses, really cool effects, makes this game really shine for me. Um, and I mean, yeah, and that's pretty much it. Like there's oh, here's a good picture. Yeah. And each of the clans, one, they're double sided, like they have everyone can just be on the same side where it's like okay they might have a different starting resources and stuff but not just to add even more to this game you each of the clans also can have special effects which gives even more asymmetry to the game. Oh, I was gonna say with this but I don't know what that's saying.
I don't either.
Nice. 2 points for yeah, this Vesson in Dynam clan. I'm gonna say 2 points for each witch in your clan. I don't know. I don't know what Vesson is. Uh, this one is like for jedes Set aus Artefakt Zauber und Vesson in Dynam clan. Well, I know Dynam is your clan. I wonder if Yedis is each. 4 points for each set of artifact. I don't know, Zauber and Vesson. So for each 4 points if you have each three of those. I'm getting there. But yeah, so it's really, really cool. There's tons of different engines and your ability that you can go for. At its heart, I mean, not at its heart, it is a card game with a little bit of area control in the three different hemispheres, I think. That might be actually what they're called. But yeah, like I remember uh really, really liking this game whenever we were reviewing it.
Yeah.
So, and I actually had forgotten that there's an expansion for it,
Oh, I didn't
the
even know that was
Crystal
out
Path.
yet.
It says 2024, so I
Huh.
don't know if it ever officially came out.
Yeah, I don't know because I
Um,
don't remember ever seeing it. Like,
right?
unless it got released overseas, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't
but I need to pick it up because if it is out, because I do really like this game. Um, so that's my 79.
This was actually my 109.
Wow.
So
Okay.
so so
Damn.
it was up there
That's actually a
for the
lot
same.
higher than I would have thought, considering
Yeah.
how long it's been since you've played it.
Well, I've played it since we played it
Oh, gotcha.
because I have it. I went and bought
Nice.
it after we played it. So
Yeah, it's really good. I also love the artwork
yeah, the
for
artwork
it.
is
It's so
is
good.
nice. Yeah.
But
All
yeah.
right. Okay. So now my number 78 was 43 last year, so it fell 35 spots, and the only reason it fell that is because I haven't played it this year. But this is still one of my favorite dice placement Euro style games, and that is Lorenzo Il Magnifico. Um, this one, surprisingly enough, was originally released by Simon. This was like one of their first
Oh
games that
yeah.
wasn't a minis game that, but now it's Cranio Creations, I think, does it. But anyway, this one, I'm a sucker for these games that have where you have certain colors of dice, you roll them, and then you place them in certain spots to
Hmm.
take actions or gain whatever. Um, this one is cool, and especially with the expansion, Houses of the Renaissance expansion, I think is what it's called, but it adds different starting player powers and stuff. Um, but there's gonna be these cards laid out in these four towers. You can place your dice there and gain those, but like only one of your family members can be in each tower, because each of those dice is a family member. Um, and you're going to be placing those. You're going to be adding stuff to your player board. So you're going to be like expanding your land. You're going to be also upping your um I can't remember the term for it now. It's been a while. It's the penance for like the church, because you're going to be putting stuff on that church line that's right underneath that little domed thing. And so what you do is you're going to keep raising that line, and notice there's like victory points, above each of those. And then there's those three little flag looking things with a plus sign above it. So each time the end phase thing happens, if you have that, then you are good with the religious people. And then it goes away and then it keeps going. But it's kind of a push your luck kind of thing, because you can keep your color going up that track as far as you want, but you're also going to be in more danger as you get going up there too, of getting busted and caught and stuff. But whenever you pull it back, you gain the victory points on that track.
Okay.
Um, and the Houses of the Renaissance, the variable player startup is makes this obviously just with any other game having that starting point that you um wouldn't other normally have, But the the decisions you make in this is really cool. And I think I messed up earlier. It's not the dice that you place. You roll your three dice, and they have them down there. They're your little cylinder pawns, or what you put, because they have the color of the dice on top of them. Um,
Oh, okay.
and that's what you place. So
Gotcha.
there's only three dice in the game. You roll them, you place them, and then that's the power of what your pawn of that same color does.
For all players.
Yeah, because that's a
Okay.
universal deal. So like your black pawn would be a four strength
Gotcha.
whenever you placed it and stuff like that. Um, and then you have like a wild one that's you can kind of put. It takes the place of one of the dice. Or you can use it for however on the dice you want to do. Um, but anyway, this one is it's going to be one that if I get it played this year, it'll bounce right back up, because
Yeah.
I really like these, where you roll the dice and that kind of determines your stuff. Um, and yeah, I mean,
Cool.
there's a lot of cards in each of those stacks for the towers. So your each play is going to be different when you do that. And stuff like that. But and money's tight in this game as well. So keep that in mind. But yeah, that one, the Houses of the Renaissance. Um, so yeah, I mean it just adds some modularity to it, because it adds more cards. It has your leaders and then more token crap.
Okay.
But this one's almost a needed expansion. Like you can buy it right now and it comes with like I think there's a big box that you buy and it has the
What
expansion
I
with it
thought.
now.
Yeah.
Um, I bought them separate, obviously, because I think I have the CMON version, but the game's the exact same no matter who did it. It's just
Yeah.
different deal. But yeah, I mean this one is an interesting one. It took me a long time to get to this game. Just because I was like, CMON's doing a stupid year, and this was before my Euro phase.
Yeah.
So then when I picked it up and started getting this was actually one of the early Euro games that I started playing to get me turning that corner.
Okay.
But yeah,
Nice.
this one's been as high as 30 on my list a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's just one in those Euro piles that I need to check out.
I thought we played it, but maybe not.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
I was thinking I brought
It's
it to
probably on the
Clinton
list of
and
games to play that
or
we
not
never look at.
not Clinton. I think I was thinking I brought it and we played it at Independence, but I don't know.
No.
Okay.
No. I haven't touched it. It'd have a score if I did.
That's true. That's true.
Um, all right. My number 77 also rose. This one was
78. I just did my 78.
Oh yeah, my number 78. Cool.
I didn't want you to
Hey,
jump.
luckily we don't have a PowerPoint to to mess things up. Yeah, my number 78 I was looking at the right one.
Okay.
Rose, it was 87 last year, so and 89 the year before. So Rose 5 spots. 9 spots is how the math works. This is a game that I'm not even sure if you like. I think you ended up buying them though, and I don't know if you've gotten a chance to play it. I want to check out the game that seems to, I don't know, not really re-implement it, but is definitely inspired by it. But this is Res Arcana.
I have it all. Amy and I haven't played it yet though.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Res Arcana I know was a game that you and I had played, but you didn't really care for. But as you could tell, I absolutely loved it from the beginning, and the expansions that came out for it only enhanced it. Not really, I
Hmm.
mean, it was, I don't even know if this was ever lower than a 9, but the expansions for it just kind of kept it there for sure. Um, but this is such a neat design of a game. Like, for its concept, you would think it would get incredibly stale, but it really never did. Like the awesome thing about this game is you only have a deck of like 8 cards. You have a magician or a mage, and there's tons of them out now for the 2 expansions. Technically 3 if you get Res Arcana Duo it's a 2 fucking player game.
I
But
know.
it's like, hey,
That's
what about a
weird.
2 player game? I know you can't play with more, but no one does. Uh, but yeah, there's tons of mages, each with their own unique abilities, and then you shuffle the plethora of cards and deal out, I mean, 8 to each player, and that's your deck. And basically, what you do, and it even tells you, is to look through your deck so you know the combos that it can do. And you're trying to be the first to, depending on the expansion, to a certain number of victory points, and you get that um, through a variety of ways. Like some of your cards in your deck might give you them, but mainly what you're trying to do is you're trying to get these places of power. Uh, this is generally how you're going to get to 10. Like the Catacombs of the Dead, you're gonna need 9 death tokens because it's a resource management game. There's 5 resources, I think. Uh, and eventually you're gonna look through, like if this is one of the places of power, you're gonna want to look through your cards and see if it's even feasible for you to get 9 death tokens. And maybe that could be your engine. Like if you look through and you're like, oh, cool, if I do this, and that's gonna allow me to do this, and then if I take this artifact, it's gonna let me do this. This game is so combo heavy with just 8 cards. It's just amazing. So then eventually you grab a place of power. Now you have this effect where you could, like, for example, spend 5 to put one death token on this card, and now it's worth 1 point for each death token on that card. And this is entirely possible for you to get your 10 points for. You can also tap it to put a death. So you could do this and you could do this, and you might have a card that lets you unexhausted to do it again. So many different things for you to just get victory points for it. Um, there's also monuments that you can get that are worth a variety of points, but they also have their own effect. It's it's such a clean game. This is one, like, I know base game, the main issue was you might have cards that end up not doing anything for you if you don't have ways to do that. Like I know when one of the games that we played, it's like, oh, I have a dragon card. Oh, I literally can't do anything with this because you might not have cards that let you spend other cards or whatever it
Right.
might be. The expansions came out with, because at the beginning of your turn you draft one of these like artifact tiles. One of them that came in the game did give you a use to now use like dead cards. So if one of your 8 is useless, well, on the turn that you draw it, you can take it and now use it for something. So that basically fixed the issue.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, it says 2 to 4. I can't imagine ever playing this with more than 2. And the game does have player interaction. Like there are ways for you to attack other players, which causes them to lose resources unless they have a way to defend themselves. It's not like you attack them and they lose health or anything, strictly to get to a certain number of victory points. But both of the expansions for it, Perle Imperi and Lux et Tenebrae, they're fantastic.
Mhm.
Like they're both almost must-have expansions just to add even more content to the game. But the game I mentioned earlier that kind of is based off of this is Etherstone.
I really want to try that one.
I also want to try that, but
Hmm.
um but yeah, like I mainly want to try it just to see if it's like, oh, it's Res Arcana but with dice, you know?
Right.
But yeah, we'll see. I'm sure it'll make its way over here eventually.
I know there's a lot more player interaction in Etherstone, apparently, from what
Really.
the guy on a podcast has it because he got it
Yeah.
overseas when he went to Essen, and Res Arcana is his favorite game, and he says Etherstone may be passing it.
Wow.
So
That's recency bias.
maybe it could be. I mean,
It might be. I mean,
yeah,
definitely the cult of the new is a very real thing.
yes.
But yeah, this one is extremely solid. Love it. So that's my number 78, Res Arcana.
All right. My number 77 is my first one in this segment that's new to the list. This is an extremely fun small box card game. Um, it plays up to 5 players, but I mean, it plays super well at 2. We've played it. I taught it to you. It works just as well with 2 as it does with anything else, and that is Castle Combo. Um,
And
this one,
this one surprisingly took, you know, like enamored a lot of people.
yeah, yeah, this was one I'd heard a lot of people talking about, and then I didn't know much about it, and I picked it up one day when I saw it because it's a pretty, again, inexpensive game. And I mean, all you're doing is so there's gonna be two markets deals. So there's a castle deck and there's a, I think, village deck, and you lay out 3 cards of each. Um, and you can purchase from them. That blue meeple that's right there, the messenger meeple, you have to buy from the row that he's at. Certain cards, like that number 3 village card that has the little triangle up, like if somebody buys that, then the messenger moves up to the castle because of that little arrow. And then there's that number 5 has the brown down and the castle row that makes it go down. You can spend keys to move the messenger to a row before you purchase. That's how you can kind of use those. Those are also victory points at the end of the game, so you're kind of using a victory point to move it, but it may be a card you really want. You can also use a key to wipe out the cards in that row and put 3 new cards out. But what you're ultimately doing in this is you're building a 9 card, a 3x3 tableau, and the cards will have, different scoring conditions. This one may score 8 points if it's in one of the corner positions or whatever. So you have to like lay out your cards. You can't move them once you get started. Um, and they have to be adjacent to one of the ones you previously put. Um, so you're kind of working out a little puzzle to try to score the most you can. Those ones with the little money bags on them, like the one in the middle, um, that they have a max where they'll hold certain number of coins, and it's 2 victory points per coin in there. So at the end of the game, that's a strategy I like using. I like to get a lot of those because they're cheap to buy, and then I just hoard money in the last few rounds, and then just
Yeah.
because then you put all the money you can on those. Um, and yeah, I mean, this for such a simple game, like the decision stuff is fine.
Hmm.
It's a 15-20 minute game. I mean,
Yeah.
it's super fast. I like the little card holders. Those are pretty sweet on that picture you just had.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, I lost it. It's
yeah, no,
gone
you're good.
forever.
But anyway, so there's an expansion coming for this game.
Really?
It's a
Oh.
smaller card. It's called Out of the Oubliette, and
Oh, oublié.
it adds outlaws. So there's
Oh
it's
shit.
only a 12 card deal, so it's gonna be one of those small box ones, but it adds these outlaws, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but they each have a lock on them, and I don't know I haven't really looked into it to see what activate the ability of an adjacent card. So I wonder if there's a way to unlock it and then it pops it off. I don't
Damn,
know.
that guy is fugly as hell.
Yeah, the art on this is not the greatest, but I mean, it's fine. That for
Lady in the Iron Mask. That's funny.
we played this at the Christmas party a week or two ago that
That I wasn't invited to.
at the
Thank you.
full Well, it wasn't my party,
I
but
just show up. Like, Brad, what the fuck? You weren't supposed to invite him. Hello.
yeah, but yeah, so we played it full 5 player count and it plays just as well. I mean, it's you know, and the scoring is really easy because you just everybody starts at the top left card. Okay, how many points did that one get? And you put it on
Yep.
the score pad, and then the top middle, top right, and you just go through that way, and then whoever has the most wins. And it's super simple, but I just love it. Like I've never had a bad game of this. I probably played it about 20 times, 25 times now. Um, so I can only see this one getting even better just because it doesn't get stale. The
Yeah.
cards are always coming out.
Oh, here
And
you
you
go.
yeah, that's like 3D printed, man. Those are nice. I'm gonna have to find
Yeah, little
those.
deck holders.
Yeah, because it's just thematic wise, it just kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, this one is a super awesome, fun little game. Because you have to draw a card every turn, or you have to get a card every turn. If you don't have the money for any
Yeah.
cards out there, on the back side of the card, you have to place it in your tableau. It won't score you any points, but it gives you 6 coins and 2 keys. So it's
Nice.
just a way to kind of get more money and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
this
It's a
is
good
a
one.
excellent one.
I liked it. Alrighty. My number 77 was 75 last year and 83 the year before, so it only fell 2 spots. And that's mainly due to I just haven't played it as much. And this is a game I showed you, and I don't know if you've picked up your own copy yet, or if you're looking for one. But this is another two-player game, Radlands.
I actually picked up the big deluxe version.
Oh,
The guy had it for
nice.
sale, so I have it now too.
I've had 3 9s in a row. Like it's luckily it's inconsistent. Like Radlands, it's like a 4. It's
And they're
like
in
yeah,
the
it's 7.
70s.
I know, right? Yeah, how does that that's what I should just do is all my 10s should be up at the top and 9s, and then it's just like who really
Yeah.
cares? Um but Radlands is a two-player game, two-player card game, almost a lane battler, uh,
Yeah.
more or less,
Yeah.
in set in the post-apocalyptic uh world, like very psychedelic punk post-apocalypse, where you use water as your resource. Over the course of the game, you're going to be gaining water tokens that you spend to do various actions. Uh, and this is actually a game that for me shouldn't work because of my main gripe with like Memoir 44 in this shared deck. But I think the biggest issue or the biggest difference between this and Memoir 44 that works for me here is the cards are multi-use.
Mhm.
So not only can they be used as like characters that could be placed in your lane, they could also be events that get placed over on the side that eventually pop out, or they could be used for their top effect, which could be the damage someone, could be used to increase one of your events. Um, so it's not like I'm ever looking through the deck of cards for I mean, you could be looking for a specific one, but there's so many cards that it's probably not actually gonna come up. It's just like, oh, I need more cards. Um, but this works extremely well. Like your whole goal is to destroy your opponent's camps. And there's so many camps in the game
Mhm.
that the game obviously recommends, hey, if you're playing your first game, use these for each side. But you can draft them. You can just randomly put them out, and they all have really cool abilities. Um, like this reactor right here. It costs 2 water for you to just destroy this card and all people.
Mhm.
Like it's a board wipe. Like I have no people on my side, but look at all the people you have. Like let's just kill all of them. And these are punks. They're kind of like cannon fodder for your lane, but eventually you'll have ways to get them destroyed. Like or you can damage them, which then taps them, and then once you destroy them, then they're gone, which with no way to come back. So that's your ultimate goal in Radlands. It's very strategic game. I love the lane battling aspect. I love the fact that water is your main source of resources that you're going to use to play cards that I mean, like for example, the Muse costs 2. And for free, whenever she's out, it doesn't cost any water. She gains you a water. So you get really cool combos whenever they're on your side, like people, and then some events. Like one of the main ones is eventually um popping your Raider. Let me see if I can. Yes. Yeah, your Raider out, which goes on the two slot of your events to then damage one of your opponent's camps of their choice. So there's just you have an innate way to actually go out and damage it, so you're not completely relying on the cards. But it can be really cool because this takes two time, and there's ways to, affect your opponent's events. But if you can get the right cards, you can really ramp this one up. So you can like do an effect that damages your opponent's camps and ramp the Raider up so then it pops immediately. So then you hopefully either injure two of your opponent's camps or maybe they just choose to get one destroyed to keep the effects of two of them open.
Right.
It's just really, really cool. This is a very solid two-player game. Again, tons of variety, like the two other card games I was just talking about, with Res Arcana and Evenfall of so many cards. The art is amazing, and it surprisingly came out with an expansion.
I have that too.
Um, yeah, the Cult of Chrome, which pretty much just added, it rebalanced some camps and then added a shit ton more, more camps. So yes, I wouldn't say it's a must-have expansion, but it's certainly one to pick up just because it's more variety.
Yeah.
And yeah, the camps are really, I think, the meat of this game. That's what makes it really fun because that's where your strategies are gonna lie based off those abilities.
Yep.
But yeah, if you're looking for a post-apocalyptic two-player lane battler, Radlands.
I would agree. It would probably be on my list if I'd played it. I like because I bought it and we haven't played it yet, but
Yeah,
I really liked it when we played it.
nice.
So it would probably be up here too, possibly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, does Amy even like post-apocalypse? Like,
I don't know if she's really against any theme
gotcha.
per se. Um, Plus I could just tell her there's trains in this and she could figure it out.
Yeah, make sure she always gets the train camp,
Yeah.
and then she'll just have a meltdown.
I'll blow it up.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
that's my 77.
All right. So my number 76, I think you talked about earlier on this list. This might be our first game we've both talked about. And
Oh my God.
I may be confusing it with another list we did, but I think it's this one.
Well,
But
I've talked about three games.
well, I mean not on this segment, like on our top 100
Oh, in our
so
top
far.
100
Yeah, so
okay,
we haven't
I
had
think
any
you're talking about
crossovers for since 100 at all so
right.
far. So, but this one was, I think it was recency stuff because the first year we got it, it was 8. And then it
Oh
went to
God.
then it went to 18, and then it went to 67, and now it's 76. And I think it's just because I haven't gotten it played because it's kind of a big one to get out and play. And that is Arc Nova.
Arc
Um,
Nova. Yes, I have talked about Arc
yeah, I couldn't remember
Nova.
where you talked about it at, but I
It
remember
was
you bringing it up.
number 83.
Okay, all right, so not too awfully far off. So I don't know where this is going to land. I think if I get it played, it's probably going to bounce up again.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, look,
but
another 9.
yeah. It says at the top re-implemented by Sanctuary. I guess that's true, but it's not even similar. I mean, it's just you're laying tiles out instead of stuff. So I mean, I'd be interested to try Sanctuary just to see what it changes,
Yeah.
but the length of time of the game of Sanctuary, I think, is much shorter.
40
I
to
guess
100
40 to
minutes.
100. That's
Hey,
still
this
pretty long.
also it does say re-implements. Never mind.
But
Re-implemented by Sanctuary. I see. Yeah.
gotcha.
90 to 150. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So anyway, this is one of those that's if you play with more than two, you're crazy.
Right.
Or unless you want to make it an all day thing, but not all day, but it's a long game. But yeah, so this one, like you had said in the last segment, um, my favorite part of this game is your action selection cards.
Hmm.
Um, so on your player board, you have these 5 cards, action cards, and depending on where it's at in that row, depends on how, you know, good it's going to be. So, and when you pick an action from that card, it goes to the end of the line, everything moves over, so on and so forth. There's a lot of stuff with this game that you're doing. You're trying to build up, get the right animals for your park. You're trying to build your right enclosures. You're trying to make it fit nicely in your park. You're trying to help out with the conservation deals. Um, the hardest thing to do with this game, and I can never remember the name of the two tracks, but the hardest thing for a new player to learn on this game is um, you want your pieces to cross, but then it's not
Appeal and reputation.
okay. Appeal and reputation. Okay, so what you end up doing with those is once they cross, like there could be if you're playing a three-player game and two people cross. It's whoever crosses the most. You like, because then your points are your differential between the
Yeah.
two after they've crossed.
And
And
they don't do
people,
themselves any favors in the rule book.
no,
Like it's
no,
almost like they over explain it.
right. Because it's crazy. Because like the first time I played this game with a, I think I first time I played this was with four.
Ew.
And we were playing it well because I didn't know at that time. It was
Yeah.
and so
No.
so and we like crossed over and everything, and it's like, oh, your score is three. After all this stuff and all that stuff.
Right.
So it's just like it's just crazy that deal. But once it almost takes a play to understand that, and then when next time you play it, you know
Yeah.
what's happening because you can sit there and explain it all you want. They still have to experience it, I think.
Yeah.
This game is what number flipping two or
3 or
three.
something.
That's three now, which is
Yeah. Wow.
crazy.
It is
Uh,
really good.
it is. It's
Like,
very good, but man, it's one of those that made its jump. And
yeah.
I have the Marine expansion, but I don't have anything else.
Any of the map
I don't
packs.
have any of the map packs yet and stuff because I don't
Okay.
play it often enough to for that to
Sure.
really make a difference yet. Um, but yeah, I mean it's one of those games, that I'm sure if I play it again, it'll bounce back up.
Yeah.
I haven't played this game in probably 2 years at this point, and it just keeps slipping,
Yeah. Yeah. I actually did a 3D insert for this one, so I really should just get this one to the table because it's really not that difficult
No,
of a
it's
game,
not.
I don't think.
No, no, no,
I don't
no.
know where these weights come in.
I
Maybe
think
I'm just
it's
being an asshole.
no, I honestly think though that weight, I'm guessing is a lot of people's first plays. Like once you've played this game
Yeah.
two times at least, maybe three, then it's gonna be easy. It's just that first time is it's for a new player, this is a lot. Like,
Yeah.
understand the scoring, understanding all this, and there's a lot of moving parts.
Sure.
Um, plus those stupid cards, the snake and whatever cards. I don't
Oh
even
yeah, the weird like
yeah, the player
it's the
interaction one's thrown
terraforming
in for
Mars thing. Yeah, where it's like, oh, we need player interaction. Asshole card.
yeah.
It's like at
I've
least in terraforming Mars it made sense. Here
yeah.
it's like, why did my snake and my zoo poison yours?
Yeah.
Like it's so stupid.
To be honest, I don't even play with those cards. I didn't the last
Yeah.
time I played this, from what I
Yeah, I think I've
remember.
taken them out too.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, Arc Nova's my 76, and we'll see what happens
Nice.
this year if I get it played to make it bounce back up.
Nice. All right. My 76 is my first new one to the list. And oh man, we have two back-to-back crossovers.
Oh,
Holy shit. I think yours was also in the last segment. I like this one a little bit more than you, mainly because I've actually probably played it more than you.
oh, okay.
Not probably, I know I have. And that is
One hit?
Spartacus. No.
No.
One hit
Yeah,
heroes.
yeah.
It's Spartacus Blood and Sand. I've been a secret fan this whole time. I have an underground Spartacus group. We only wear like gimp masks and we're
And
completely naked the
you
whole
wear
time.
togas,
Yeah,
to
togas with a hole cut out. Never mind. Um, you're not invited. I know you were gonna ask. That was your next
That's okay.
question. You
That's
can't you
okay.
can't come. Uh, we do though.
Oh God.
One hit heroes. It's 8 a.m. I've been up for a long time. Um, yeah, this one definitely took us by surprise. It's not a 9. I'm sorry, it's an 8. It might go up to a 9 with season 2,
Yeah.
but yeah, this one is a surprise hit. I think it's such a fun boss battler, with what you would expect to be almost like a cheap kind of game. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a cheap game, but yeah, I really like the card play. Like you only have three energy to utilize your cards. You have um a decent amount of ways to mitigate the die for whenever the boss is attacking. And probably one of my favorite things about the game is like the episodes are broken up into kind of like themes. So all
Hmm.
the five bosses that you fight kind of are attached to that theme, and like the items that you get from them are tied to what it was. So like the second episode is Western. So a lot of the items you get are Western theme, and those go into an armory. So on repeat plays, it becomes kind of a roguelike where it's like, oh, hey, I've unlocked all this stuff. So now this is what can show up for us in future plays. Um, the agrometer is really, really cool. Again, lots of ways to mitigate that. And there's just really like when you first play this game, you're gonna if you like are listening to us, what Brad said last time and what I'm saying now, you might be like, this is not in this game at all. Play it like into a few bosses because the first boss is like this is for babies. This is like for like
Like a practice dummy.
it's all yeah, pretty much. It felt like I was like, oh no, this is gonna be so simple. And then then we kept like it's like all right, let's do the next boss and like pretty much from the second boss on we were like, oh, here's the cooperation, here's the combos. So that was a nice surprise. Very excited for season two for it. I hope this game has some legs going into it. I really like it. And yeah, that's my 75.
Yeah,
70
it's a good one
something,
for
70
sure.
whatever. 75.
It's nice to see it
Nope.
in retail now too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, just because it literally doesn't have that big of a footprint
The
in
box is
terms,
definitely smaller.
right? Yeah. And you have, I mean, there's, if you get I think that, I don't know if the retail version has it, but the Kickstarter, I know, at least my copy has the epilogue to it. So,
Yeah, I don't think it does in that retail. I think
so
the
yeah,
kicks.
that was my 76.
All right. My number 75 is the other new one to this list. Actually, there's another one, but this is the next new one. You haven't played this one yet, and I think this is one that you should probably borrow because I think you and Ari would really like it because it plays excellent at most player counts.
Okay.
Um, and that is River Valley Glassworks.
So with the, okay, it's like the beavers on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this one, especially because there's a retail version, which is fine. It's good if you can spend an extra 15 and get the deluxe version like I have. It's really nice.
Okay.
But it says best at two, so actually that makes sense.
Nice.
But this is a simplistic, very pretty um game where you're going to be there's these nice glass pieces that you're going to be putting down. They're randomized in a bag. There's a river board that sets out, and on that river board, there are you're going to place out X number of deals to start the game. And then notice there's those shapes in the corners of each of those segments, like there's hearts, there pentagons,
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that. That's in the shape of the stones. So what you're going to
Okay.
do is you're going to have a collection of stones in your little personal area,
Oh,
and
here
then
we go.
you're going to place like that little bag. So you'd be placing that purple triangle stone in your little baggie to the left. And you'd place that out onto the river in one of those deals, but it has to be a spot that has a triangle symbol. Because when you place that in the triangle symbol, then you get to take something from there, whatever
Okay.
you need. There's rarity deals of different stones. But what you're ultimately trying to do, and then everything moves down the river and you put new things at the end. So that's how that replenishes and keeps moving. So, but what you're doing is the things you gain off the river go into your shop, which is that big board right there with all the columns and rows of stuff. Um, the trickiest part of this game is getting your scoring for this because in your rows, you because like once you place a green color, like a jade color in a column, that's the only color that can go in that column.
Okay.
So you get points at that bottom column right there, the bottom scoring. So like if you have all seven different colors, you're going to gain 20. I think it says like 20 some points, you know. But then you don't want to gain too many of one color and fill up because that's going to hurt your deal. Like that far left column, that's hindering some of your scoring of the smaller ones because the it blocks those out. So
Okay.
the purple one is going to score you like 25 points or 20, whatever that number is in the middle. I can't remember since it's
I
covering
would
it.
I would
It's
wager, I guess, at
that's
30.
30. Yeah. So like you don't want to go too heavy on one color because it won't let you score the columns of the lower ones. So you're trying to balance that out with what you're gaining out of the river and all this cool stuff. There's a little small box expansion to this that just adds more like in-game scoring things and it's just a tiny little card box. These were the Kickstarter exclusives. So like
Oh, okay.
you can buy the deluxe retail that has everything, and then this is what you'd buy to get all the Kickstarter extra stuff.
Gotcha.
And it just adds more like
Oh,
asymmetric
it's
player
all play?
powers. Yeah. Um
Nice.
but yeah, this is a very, very good game, very pretty, very simple. It's not really mean. I mean you're drafting stones, so it's not like but
Sure.
that's the only interaction you really have. Um and you may drop a color that they want. So you do have to pay attention to kind of what they have on their board when you drop your thing to exchange.
Okay.
But it's actually a super, super fun light game that I've kind of been hitting a lot more this year. Like this year has been a lot more smaller box, like um simplistic games, I think.
Yeah.
Um because you know with tariff stuff not letting a lot of the bigger games come through and stuff, these games are ones I've been picking up and playing a lot more and
Right.
stuff just because they're so fast and everything. And like I said, like it says, 25 to 45 minutes. I think my learning game of two players took 30 minutes to play it, and
Okay.
that was about it. But this is a really, really fun, good one. What is that?
This is just what it said. It
Subastral?
re-implements Sebastral.
Because that guy Pinchback and Riddle, they always talk about Subastral on their podcast, but
Ah, well,
I've never seen it because they did this this one as well. But
gotcha.
but yeah, I mean
Interesting.
this one's a fun little cutesy game that has some decent decision making to it. And
Okay.
it's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like me some all play.
Right.
So, I'll take a good old gander at it. Yeah, one game by all play. Well, might be in my top 100. I don't know. Um, it probably won't be, but
Twinkle Twinkle.
no, that I don't own it. So,
QE.
no, QE did not make the
Kabuto
list. I
Sumo.
also did not make the list.
I'm
No,
just
it's
listing all play.
no, I mean those are all play. No, it
Yeah.
being Message from the
Oh
Stars.
yeah, yeah. Yep.
Um, but I don't know, maybe it is in my top 100 somewhere. I couldn't find it that quick. All right. My number 75. Yes. Fell. It was 38 last year and 70 the year before, so it fell 37 spots. Um, and it fell definitely because I just haven't played it. This requires a not an overly large group. This game is actually terrible at max player counts, in my opinion. And it's really the only version of this game that I have played. I have not touched any of like the standalone expansions, and that is Nemesis.
I really want to
Um,
try Retaliation sometime.
yeah, I mean, like I've been eyeing these. Oh, look, back to the nines. Um, Yeah, I've been intrigued by these with Lockdown and Retaliation, but with how infrequently I play Nemesis, I'm like, I can't just because people are selling them for 300-400 bucks, and I'm like, I don't even touch this version, even though this version is absolutely fantastic. So I know it's beaten over the head, but this is basically Alien the game, done by Awakened Realms. They utilize this really cool element of like ship discovery where with a bunch of different tiles uh, that have different effects that you're searching for. The reason why I don't like this at max player counts is because I think the ship gets discovered too quickly. And part of my personal enjoyment is not quite knowing where certain rooms are. Uh, you're gonna have the same rooms in the game because you need them to fulfill objectives, but um, but you just don't know where they're at, and you might need them to either betray people uh or help everyone. So what's this game actually is one of the very rare games that semi-cooperation actually works. Because they do one key thing that makes the game makes that work in that everyone has two objectives, a cooperative one and a competitive one. And whenever you are playing the game, the instant the first alien shows up, which the game doesn't start with any, you have to make some noise. So it might take a little bit before the first alien actually appears on the board. As soon as that happens, that's when everyone needs to decide what they need. And the competitive ones could be that no one survives. It could be that one player needs to die. And for example, if a adult alien appears in like Brad's room and one of my goals is to make sure that he dies, it's just like, oh well, I mean, that's already gonna happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
Um
assure you, if an alien shows up in my room, I'm already dead. So, no.
it's like, well, exactly. So um so I really, really like that. It allows the game to kind of develop on its own before you have to make a decision. And what's also really cool is you cannot directly affect other players. Like there's nothing that allows you to attack other players. So it's very passive aggressive because how you handle that is by like shutting a door as they're trying to run through as a bunch of aliens are moving into it um is by canceling because you have ways to cancel people's actions. Like what the last time I played this game was it was me and one other guy. The other two people just died by circumstance. It was me and another guy, and he was trying to there were a bunch of aliens coming and he was trying to get into an escape pod, and I played the card that canceled his action, so he couldn't get into the escape pod. And whenever the aliens are in the room with the escape pod, you can't actually um get in. So there's just a lot of little things like that. You can tweak the destination of where the ship is going. You can tweak the engines, but a lot of really cool kind of hidden things about this game. And one thing that if you have this game and you're not aware of, or if you are getting this game, um, there is an app that comes with that you can download that helps manage the bag building, that which is like one of the most tedious parts about the game, where there's like some bag development on, okay, now you have a larva, but the larva now evolves into a a child or whatever, and then that evolves into an adult, and that it's like it's very tedious. Probably the one thing about the game that I'm the least familiar with. But the app handles all of that. So just forego the stupid bag and just get the app and you'll have a smoother experience. But yeah, like and here's the thing, here's another reason why I have never touched Lockdown or Retaliation. There's a ton of stuff for this version.
Hmm.
There's two different types of aliens. There's the Void Seeders and the Necromorphs, Carnomorphs. I'm like, it's not Necromorphs, that's actually Dead Space. And Carnomorphs. I have played one game with the Carnomorphs, but then they have these untold stories because it's Awakened Realms, so I
Yep.
believe these are it's either campaign or no, okay, co-op scenarios. I think I couldn't remember if it was campaign or not. But then they have a really cool expansion that I still haven't touched, and that's Aftermath, where it's like a separate side game that you play after your regular game. So it's like
Hmm.
think like Dead Space, where Isaac and the that ship. I can't think
I
of the
can't
name
think
of
of
the
it either.
when they show up to the everything that fucking happened. So you actually kind of get to play an epilogue to your own game, which is never done in anything else, which is kind of cool. I've
Yeah.
never done this. So all the shit for this game that came out in 2018, I think, I haven't touched. So with Lockdown and Retaliation, I'm like, I'm never gonna
Yeah.
get that shit played.
Well, and see, I don't own any of it, but I think the theme of the retaliation sounds funner because you're actually on the attack. You're actually hunting down the aliens instead of
Yeah,
running away or hiding or doing whatever you're doing.
yeah.
This one, you're
This,
actually hunting them down.
yeah. It
So,
feels like this Nemesis is alien to Retaliation being aliens.
yes. Yeah,
So.
I could see that.
So yeah, I mean, by all means, pick it up because then I don't have to, and I just get to play it. And we can have, well, you can have aliens, and I can have Alien, and we'll just have the best Alien board games
There you go.
because those are the best movies in that franchise. Although the new one is really good, Romulus.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
I still wouldn't put. It'd probably be third.
I would say,
Uh,
yeah, that's probably where I'd put it too. Yep.
but yeah, like maybe I'll pick these up at some point because I do like to be a completionist. But yeah, Lockdown. I don't even like it seems like it was basically the same game,
Yeah, just a
just on
different
it just with
location.
a different map. I don't even know if it's cross. It says standalone expansion, so I don't know if it's like cross compatible. If the aliens for this one
I
can
bet
be
they do.
played,
I
I
bet they
would
do.
imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic game. I agree with people here. I say this is best at 4. I have
Hmm.
played it at I think you can play it at 6, or maybe I did play it at 5. One of the two, and I hated it. It also lasted way too long. So they do have a variant you can play where if someone gets eliminated early, they can play the role of the alien,
Yeah,
which is kind of
that's
cool. Well, that part's not cool. What I meant to say was you can find weaknesses of the aliens, which is
hmm.
cool. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that's my 75.
Well, funny enough, so my number 74 stayed the same. It was 74 last year. Um, and it is Legendary Encounters, an alien deck
Oh,
building game.
that is funny.
Which plays through the four movies. You don't have to, but like if you're gonna go through, you can play as the four movies and then randomize after. But yeah, this just uses the legendary encounter system of it has its own unique playmat, and you pick a scenario if you're wanting to do it that way, and you're going to pick some handful of characters, or if you're playing a movie, it'll tell you what characters to do. You shuffle all those together, and you have like a recruitment area. And then what happens is the aliens deck they pop out face down as they work from the ventilation shafts all the way through to the airlock, and you have to spend power to scan them to flip them over to see what they are. So that's the big change because, like in Marvel Legendary, they just came out and then you just had to spend stuff to kill them. But
Right.
this one you actually have to scan, which is good and thematic. Sometimes you may scan and it may be, uh, an egg that pops over into your deal. You could find the objective that you're looking for because there's all these different objectives as you work through the scenario. If they fall down from the airlock into I think it's the bay or the barracks, or I can't, it's covered up. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, then if you don't kill them, then they damage you. And instead of it being just like oh, this one's going to do 3 damage to you or whatever, there's a whole damage deck, and you draw from that deck, and it could be a mortal wound and give you all this damage. It could be a scratch. It could be nothing. It just depends
Hmm.
on how it goes. And then also when you play, you're going to choose an avatar character. It's not one of the main characters. It's just a general character, and they come with a card that starts in your deck. So if you choose the medic, then there's going to be like a medic card that goes in your starting deck and everything, and each one's different. Um, but the shtick with this was like you can play through the four movies, and then like you could technically, because all the symbols are the same, you could throw like Hulk or Wolverine or any of that crap into this, which would be stupid, but I mean you can do that if you
You
really really
could.
wanted to. I know it's stupid
Yeah.
sounding, but I mean their whole legendary system kind of worked that way.
Yeah.
Um, I the Predator one was decent in this. The Firefly one I like, even though the art is horrendous. The Firefly one's fun because that's one of my favorite shows to go back and watch.
Are you an Alien or a Predator guy?
Oh, Alien.
You like
I mean,
Alien
I
more?
like Predator too, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's
The Alien
it's
series,
close.
yeah, the Alien series has just been better, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, Badlands Predator Badlands was really
I've heard
cool. I need to
Badlands is
watch it.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping
So
it was out on streaming because I haven't had a chance to go see it in theaters, but not yet.
yeah. So anyway, this one is out of print, so it's hard to find. There isn't any new ones coming out. I'm I may kick myself for this, but there is a new Legendary Encounters that just released. It's the Game of Thrones one.
Really?
So I'm gonna try it, I think, just because I'm curious where they'll go to, where they'll stop, like if they're gonna go off the like if they're gonna go to the shitty ending or if they're going to,
Right.
yeah, I'm just curious because I like deck builders and especially ones that you can play solo,
Yeah.
like this and stuff. This also has that mechanic, the cooperation mechanic. So like where you can, if you have a coordinate, that's what it is, coordinate. So like you can play a player can play a card to help you out, and then when they play that, they get to draw another card. But it's like the whole
Yeah.
coordinate thing is neat. These are just fun games. They come with their own playmat in the box and everything. And and yeah,
It's
and
so hot.
this also has that thing where if you die, you technically could play as the alien. Um,
Oh, yeah.
but nobody's ever done that. And there were some expansions for this. There was a Prometheus expansion, there was a Covenant expansion,
Oh,
um,
gross.
and stuff like that. But not Prometheus, I guess. Maybe it was just Covenant. I thought there was a Prometheus one. Pretty sure there was a one, but it doesn't show there. But anyway, um, I don't have any of that. I just have the base game, and I have it nice and sleeved in that alien green
Nice.
sleeve, so it's cool that way. But yeah, this one's one that'll probably be on my. It's been on my list for a long time. Like it was 74. It was as low as 25 back in 2020,
If you
but
had
it's
to rank the four movies, how would you rank them?
the four in this game,
Yeah.
like actual. Okay.
Like the actual movies.
I would probably go 2, 1, 3, 4.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Just because
fair.
I like two's action because the
I
80s
go back
action
and
stuff.
forth. Like
Yeah,
I like two and one are so good.
they
Like
are. They're close.
two's definitely the most quotable one. Um, they get like the slow burn lately of one because I've recently watched them all.
Hmm.
Um, and I think three is a sleeper. I think three got shit on by the studio. There's
Yeah.
actually a version of three that you can watch where she has to deal with grief from the fact of she comes back and it's been many years and her daughter has like passed away and stuff. And
Hmm.
you don't get that in like the studio one. Four is just awful. It's so bad. There's no redeeming that one.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, nice. All right. My number 74?
Hmm.
74, sticking to the horror theme. I think you've talked about this one as well at some point. This one rose. It was 79 last year and 92 the year before, so it rose 5 spots, and that is because I have played it very recently, and that is Subterra. So this was like in the
I
90s?
It was 83.
83, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love this game. Um, for what it looks like, it's so crazy. For what this game looks like, which is this looks like a prototype copy. It's not.
Nope.
Um, it's weirdly atmospheric, man. Like
It
it
is.
works. I think it's just because this is a real thing that you can go do that if you're ever suicidal or insane, you would go spelunking or cave diving. Um, you couldn't pay me enough. I'm one of those guys that's like everyone has their price.
Hmm.
Apparently I'm a hypocrite because I can't think of a number that would get me to do something like this. Um although I'd probably go cave diving before I went scuba diving.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like it just works. I mean it's very simple to to play. Like your actions are straightforward on what you can do, and then the fact of you're just exploring out of this cave that's sprawling. You're going to get a different layout of the cave every time. You're going to come across things like these like long running oh God, the minis are those are terrible. Um there was a good picture I remember last time, but this will work. But you get like strings of gas that you're like, okay, like I'm gonna risk it. We got to go this way. There's a bunch of like I'm stranded from the rest of the group. But we got to find the exit because it doesn't matter. No one like everyone can die. One person you can just escape. But you have like
Right.
a score thing of at the end of how many people survive. But um you yeah, you're just like, all right, I think I'm gonna make it, and you're just walking through, and then the next event card is gas, so then you have to you just take a bunch of damage. But I think yeah, last time I my girlfriend and I were playing this game, it warped in such a way that like we spawned lurkers that were both coming at us from left and right, and we came into a bunch of dead ends, except the only way to get to us was to was where the lurkers were coming because we didn't get far enough away. It was the writing was on the wall at that point.
Hmm.
It's like, guys, I thought of a way out. Just fucking blow your brains out
Yeah.
because that's what I would do. And I know you mentioned it last time, but one really awesome thing about this game is when that event deck runs out, it's not over. It's pretty much over, but it's your flashlight going out and you have to roll before you do everything. And if you get a five or a six, then you get to keep going. And I've had games where it's like where you do get out, you just somehow keep rolling those numbers and you're just running through. You're not even scouting anymore. It's just you're just flipping tiles over. Um, and then last time, because we played this quite a bit, because when we were in Oregon, because it was October, uh, yeah, we had games where the very next tile was the exit, and it's like you see the light, it's just it just
Yep.
grabs you from the darkness, and that's the last you were heard from. It's great. The only thing about Subterra that sucks is it basically the way it was handled with Tim Pinder and Inside the Box because it's like my version has expansions for it, but then there's like apparently a miniature expansion and like I think actually I don't have incubation. I don't know. I think I have these three, but I don't have this one. So I might just need to see if that's even available. But it just felt like a very wonky, all over the place release of a
Yeah.
game. And then Subterra 2 was a shit show. Although, where is that at? 7.5. That's actually very surprising considering how another company had to come in and release. So I'm guessing people got their copy. Uh, 1.1 ratings, 6.1. So point 0.5 or point 0.1 higher. But I really like the atmosphere of Subterra, although I do think Subterra 2 is still very good, but in a different way. But I played the first one way more
Right.
because it
Yeah.
fits more for spooky season. Like, I don't know why this lava rising is not the same as cave crawl.
No, not at all.
Um, but if you're a fan of like that Indiana Jones kind of opening scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark, then that's this game. So
Yeah.
worth getting it. Like, I think they're worth owning both, but yeah, that's my
All
74.
right. Good choice. My number 73 was 32 last year. So it dropped 41 spots because it has not been played. I'm waiting for the new stuff to show up in my new version. But this one in 2019 was my number three. So it's been
Oh,
slow.
damn.
It's been slowly on a trajectory, but I think it's going to bounce back at least to the probably the 40s or 50s after I get my new stuff. And this is Champions of Midgard.
Yeah, no.
Um, so
I was gonna see if they had like the the new one. Why is there a mil promos? I'm
yeah,
like,
there's
why
tons of
are there a
promos and stuff
million
for it.
entries? Anyway,
So this game, is not really a great two-player game. Like I would play it with three or four, probably
yeah,
four. And I would also, it's almost a necessary expansion at this point, but the Valhalla expansion is almost a must when you're
yeah,
doing this.
I would
Then
agree.
there's also the Dark Mountains, which take it or leave that one. It just adds more spots and more choices and stuff. But the Valhalla is a must. Um, but anyway, this is Vikings, obviously. And you are doing worker placement. You're gaining uh warriors of different types, which are represented by different colors of dice. Um, you are feeding your people. You are doing all this stuff. You're eventually going to gather. Oh, they want miniatures, huh? Um, but you're also trying to gain enough warriors to then be able to send them on your boat across to take on these sea monsters and stuff that's out over there. It's one of those high risk, high reward things because you go over to battle those monsters, you roll those dice. If you don't succeed, those guys are gone. And
Right.
but that's what the Valhalla thing does because when they die, then you get the same color of dice tokens that you can then spend on the Valhalla board to be able to get these powerful uh, cards and such. So you actually get to use your dead soldiers for something, which was a must because it was always such a letdown. And you'd have this ship full of awesome warriors that you'd spent a few turns building up, and then you go across the sea in battle, and then they're just gone, you know.
Right. It's like,
And then you have to
okay,
go back.
well,
Right. So,
I guess I'll just quit.
right. So, but yeah, this is, uh, so the Valhalla thing makes it much more, you know, tolerable for that because
Hmm.
you actually want to lose some warriors because some of those Valhalla things that you can buy are really powerful.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm waiting on the new stuff because they came out with like the deluxe like storage deal and all these other crap and stuff that I ended up I just because there's a solo mode now that they made and there was a little bit of mess up with Gray Fox because they made it sound like if you because they had that like that interest deal. Hey, give us $1 now to show that you're interested or whatever a couple months before the project.
Right.
And it said if you do that now, then you get the free solo expansion that lets you play it solo.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was one of the several many people that just dropped $1. I was like, I'm just gonna get the solo and not do anything else, you know? And then the pledge manager came out, or no, the thing came out and all that stuff, and then there was nothing, no solo mode around or anything to say you got it. And they're like, oh, that's you get it for free if you pledge for something.
Right. Yeah, you have to give us money
Right, well,
because
right,
God
but
forbid we give a few cards out for free.
so I think what I ended up doing is I think I just got the deluxe box storage, like the big box storage, and then I got like the deluxe resources and stuff. I didn't do like all the
Yeah, I
other
think I was like trying
stuff.
to talk some sense into you. I'm like, what are you doing? What do you, Brad?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I didn't get
Stop
like
it.
I didn't
Get
get
some
like
help.
the 3D ships and all that stuff. I figured if I really wanted stuff like that, I could 3D print shit like that. But
I just need to. I just
because
need to like send this to you every now and then. Stop it. Yeah, another meme. That's funny. Get some help.
but yeah, and I know the reason this isn't good at twos because of the contesting of the troll and stuff like that, which
Yeah, it's like
I
that transgalactic shit.
yeah,
Or even IR, where it's like, now I have to follow you. I don't want to
yeah,
go there, but now I have to, otherwise I'm gonna get
which
negative 30 points.
I still have won by not doing anything on the troll board in a two-player game because
Yeah,
you
because the
max
other
out
person
at
played against
a certain number. They're
sucked.
spending their turns going there to make you get more tokens, and you can go and getting more warriors, getting more of this and that, and it equals out at the end if you just do that. But it isn't necessarily a smart mechanic. So, and then they have even added the Dark Mountain board adds another troll. It's the I can't remember what they're called, but they're
Yeah.
up in the mountains that kind of has this another spot similar to that. But there's even a set collection part to this game. You know, when you're
Hmm.
gathering your Draugr and all that stuff, there's different in-game deals that trigger for you if you get stuff. The Dark Mountains adds more dice, adds the green dice
That's
and
yeah,
stuff, so you can go,
hunters.
yeah,
You get more food.
yeah, yep. So yeah, I mean, this one's one that I'm ready to get my new stuff because I want to get it played again. I want to see what this solo mode is like, and stuff as well. But yeah, that's my number 73, Champions of Midgard.
Nice. All right, my number 73, Rose. It was number 100 last year.
Ooh.
So it was new to the list last year. So it rose 27 spots. Um, and that, let's see if I can, is Iki. Yes, I think it's this one. Yep. Um, so this one is actually kind of weird because I think there was a apparently re-implemented Ito the Craftsman story. Um, but Eco is a worker placement game set in the Edo period, which is basically like is a theme that I actually really enjoy. I was trying to find some solid pictures. Um, but these all feel like I think this is a second edition because like that rule book is not correct, and a lot of these pictures actually aren't 100% accurate either, at least from the version that I have. Um, but anyway, so a lot of this might be it. This might be good enough. Yeah. So, uh, what's really cool about this game is you have this market that eventually you have a certain number based off your turn order of how many spaces you can move around. And what you'll be doing is you'll be putting in shops in these various stalls that will have effects on them that can give you resources, that let you spend resources to do other things, all to complete objectives and complete projects.
Hmm.
Or you can do some set collection element with like tobacco and pipes or sushi. It is such a neat, streamlined game. What's also cool about it is that depending on where you place your shops, there can eventually be fires that break out that will destroy the shops if you don't increase your firefighting skill, which is like way over here. Um, High enough. So if you don't actually take the time to do that, then your shops are just going to burn down, and then you have
Right.
nothing to place. I thought this game worked excellently at two, although I guess a lot of people say it is best at four, which is interesting. Um, but I've never played it before. I thoroughly enjoyed just everything that this game had. The expansion for it, Akabono, is also great. It adds in boats and like a harbor, and you can also meet like interesting people that have their own special effects. Um, Not sure if I'd say this expansion is a must, but it's certainly nice to have if you want to throw in some different modules. Um, but for someone who really, really likes this setting, this version of it, uh, is just it's a worker placement game, Euro style, that kind of took me by surprise. I don't even remember why I ended up picking it up at some point, but I just did along with this expansion. And yeah, the rondel kind of placement. I mean, this picture is I don't know. This is from a million years ago. Uh, but it still has the core structure of kind of moving in this rondel kind of uh pathway to to land in a certain spot to be able to trigger the the workshop that's there. So I like that element of planning buildings or planning shops, using them for your effects to finish out projects. Um, it just works extremely, extremely well. If you're wanting a unique kind of, I guess not worker placement is it's well it is because you place shop owners into the spot, and eventually they'll leave and then you have to put out more. Um it's unlike a lot of ones that I have played, but I don't know if it's super hitting for you because I know you don't really care about this theme, but I think the gameplay itself you would really, really like. This
I'm
might be
sure I
one of
would.
those what was it? Philosophy? What was that one
Philosophia,
game?
Philosophia, the floating
Yeah,
world.
that was the feudal Japan one
Yeah.
as well. I think this game would do the same thing where it's like, oh, even though you're not a fan of the theme, I think the gameplay you would thoroughly enjoy.
Well, and I like Edo also, and I just repicked it up, the
Oh
fancy version
yeah.
of it and stuff too.
Yeah, that's
So
right. That is God, that one's a good one too. But yeah, Iki is a great game. I mean, I guess it came out, man, 10 years ago. I didn't even know that. And then the expansion came out, yeah, 2023, so only a few years ago. And they killed it. The expansion's awesome. So that is my 73.
I think where it comes from, my feudal Japan stuff. I think I like it in Euros, but not like in, miniature battle stuff as much.
Interesting.
Yeah. I
That
don't know.
is
I
an
don't know why.
interesting delineation between
Yeah.
those. Um, yeah, I don't know. It man, it just I love it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite themes to hop into.
Because I like Yokohama also, the Euro port
Yeah,
game,
but I mean, I guess
so
in what other like, there's not really a lot of like samurai fighting games. I mean, I do have a campaign game that's samurai, but like I know Forbidden Fortress for your Shadows of Brimstone. I know that's one,
yeah, and I got it. I don't ever really use the things unless we go to the other
right?
world.
Yeah,
Um,
and that would be
Rising
uh
Sun, but I don't really
oh yeah,
do much with
yeah,
that and stuff.
yeah.
But
That's true. Interesting.
yeah. All right.
Weirdo.
All right. My number 72 is another one that's new to my list. This one is one that you've played as well. You used to own it. Um, uh, I I don't have the expansion for this because I don't really care to have it. Like the base game, fancified version of the base game is good enough for me, and that's Planet Unknown.
Ah,
Um, this one is one I'd played a few years ago before getting my copy. And had a lot of fun learning it and playing it there. But like if you did the Kickstarter for this, just the base game of the deluxe version or whatever, it has so many because like all the planets have playmats, double-sided. There's all these different planets you can choose from. The expansion added the moons. I I mean, it's fine.
yeah, yeah.
The moon thing that just didn't land as well. I would just assume just have the base stuff
No,
and
it
that's
felt
fine.
like they were trying to do the Feast for Odin thing of the island. It's just, yeah, I never really
Yeah.
cared. I didn't like the expansion that
But
much.
but yeah, so this one it says it plays best at four. It plays up to six. I don't really see, I mean, the only thing I see being different is because you're drafting your tiles from the Lazy Susan in the middle of
Yep.
the board. I think it's probably best four because it's broken into the four segments easier. I don't know what six would do with the, I guess one, two, three. I guess you'd have a really small segment because when you play four, I don't know. I'd have to look at it more. But anyway, so you're drafting in each of these tiles. They're double-sided tiles. You can place them however you need to place. You can take from the middle zone or the outer zone, and you're doing polyomino placement. Um, and as you place them onto your planet, um, you have to start on the outer edge, work your way in. And when you place a tile with a certain symbol on it, you move up on the track. Um, so you're bumping up your tracks, and there's also different tracks, that you have all these specialty tracks and stuff that
Hmm.
zigzag and do all kinds of weird stuff. There's asteroids that are going to be landing, so you're trying to clean up the asteroids with your rovers. Um, and if you how did you get the little, oh, if you covered up um the little circle thing, you'd gain one of the transport ship thingies or whatever those are
Oh yeah.
called. But and as you move up these levels, you're gonna have better abilities. For like your rover may move more. You're gonna be unlocking abilities as you go. There's so many planets with this and so many combinations that you can do. It's just a good deal. I think the most tedious thing to me is shuffling all the stupid tiles between games and then putting
Oh
them back in the
God,
thing.
yeah, it's
That
so
is
bad.
that's the most tedious thing because you don't want to keep using the same tiles every time. But but yeah, this one's super super nice. Every time I've played it, I've had fun. Anytime I've taught it, it's they've people have had fun. Um and it looks like there's a lot going on, but it's really pretty simple. I mean, as long as you're,
As long as you
you
don't
know,
get like a wonky planet and
Yeah.
corp
Well,
combo that's
yeah,
like
and and it tells you, you want to start. There's like the beginner corporation board,
yeah,
before you start getting into weird ones, because we found that one weird mix.
yeah. It
Because it was me, I had a planet in my board, and it was like
it
impossible
had like
to
didn't have
do
like
anything.
something to do with water, and you had no water on your planet or
Yeah,
something. Yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah.
was. It's
So I
like,
don't.
clearly all these weren't tested.
Yeah, unless I was reading it wrong or something. But I mean,
I
that's.
yeah,
But
it was
yeah,
odd.
but yeah, this is a fun one. You can find a deluxe version of it pretty cheap right now. I mean, it's not a super expensive game, even with all the neoprene crap into it, and skip on the supermoon because it doesn't really
Yeah,
do a whole
yeah,
lot, I think.
definitely. Like this one's a solid polyomino game, but I would agree, just don't bother with the expansion.
Yeah.
I don't think either.
Yep.
Nice. All right, my number 72 fell. This one was 57 last year and 10 the year before. So it fell 15 spots. This is the only iteration of this game that is in this list. It's my favorite of the trilogy. Um, just hasn't gotten to the table. Running theme here, but that is Great Western Trail, New Zealand.
Yeah. I haven't played the New
Uh,
Zealand one yet.
you haven't played this one?
No.
Um, the Great Western Trail games are phenomenal. Like out of the trilogy, I mean, it goes this one, then the OG, and then Argentina. Although Argentina and the OG are very, very similar. Didn't they have like they have a shorter one, El Paso,
El
is that what it was
Paso.
called?
Yeah.
That I don't think went over that well. Um, but this is well, this one's with sheep, but the original one was with cows, where you are going across this rondel to deliver sets of sheep, or actually not sets, different sets, where you will be building buildings that give you special abilities that might hinder your opponents by having them pay you, and it takes up more spots because the more buildings there are along your path to wherever you're delivering in New Zealand. It's Kansas City in the original one,
Right.
but the more buildings are, the more stops it takes, the longer it takes for you to get there. But what's really, really cool about this is that there's so many different ways for you to try and modify your hand so you can increase the output of what you are selling, because whenever you turn in, you're wanting to do better each time so you don't have to backtrack and sell to the same spot. But this game handles upgrading like your board really well. All of them do this, but uh like as you are delivering your sheep, you're getting to take these upgrades off, and this might be, oh, for secondary actions, I might get more money. This lets me draw a card and discard a card. This lets me move my ship around more. This one gives me more of these hummingbird things. I don't know what they're called in whatever New Zealand, but if you take this one off, it lets your cowboy move even more, or your sheep herder. But this I've always loved, like about the game, is that slow upgrade of your board in different in the different order of how you might be strategizing. There's a lot going on in this game. What makes New Zealand my favorite is that it enhances the deck building even more, because whenever you are setting up the game, let's see if I can find. Nope, I don't know where they would have put them. But whenever you're setting up the game, you have a ton of different side decks that you actually get to put in. Not all of them will be used, and those can go into your deck to give you unique abilities depending on which ones you're throwing in. So I really, it might be different types of sheep. It might be herding dogs. It might be those birds. It might be boats that you can actually get to throw into your deck for free actions. But then this version also adds the sea element. So in the original version, there was the Rails to the North expansion, and this game basically comes with that expansion. You have instead of a railroad track that you're moving around the edge in the OG, you're moving your boat around to these various different islands, and that's a very valid strategy to try and get bonuses for it, and also get um, end game victory points by placing your upgrade discs.
Right.
So fantastic Rondell game, fantastic deck builder, and with both of these games, this one just kind of added a lot more variety from the original, and the original was already a fantastic game, and this just improved upon that. So that's why it's my number 70 whatever 72.
Is this one faster than the original, or is it
No,
about
I
about the
don't. I
same?
think it's either about the same, if not a little bit longer.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, just because there's more going on,
Yeah.
I don't think it would make it any. I mean, this one says 75 to 150 minutes. Well, this one says the same, so
Okay, so
it might be the same. I just think there's more going on,
right.
so it might take longer just with brain power. But yeah, both of them got a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't even know. Even Argentina got a 10. I mean, like they're all three of them are just great games. Do you need to own all of them? Probably not. Um,
I only have the second edition
yeah.
of the
And to be
original.
fair, yeah, to be fair, if like anyone was to see all three and decide, oh, which one should I get? I would say this one.
Yeah.
I would say get the base and then probably skip Argentina because they didn't really differentiate. If Argentina was radically different from base like New Zealand is, then I'd say, oh, we'll get all three. But yeah, really, really like these games.
Yeah. Awesome. Good choice. All right, to round out my uh segment, this is another small box game. It's one that I showed you and you own now.
Ooh.
It was 60 last year, and I think it only fell just because other stuff moved above it. I don't see any reason why this would have fell otherwise because I play it all the time, and it plays well at 2, plays well all the way, plays really well all the way up to 6, and that is far away. Um, this one is I played it a couple years ago, was showed it, and then I immediately bought my own. Um, it's the theme really doesn't come through. It's just how the scoring and the gameplay is why it's here. I've had the theme is like you're traveling, you're documenting your travels, and then you're going through and scoring your travel, your trip or something. I don't know, but I just forget the theme. Anyway, what you're doing on this though is you're going to be building a tableau of, I want to say, is it 8 cards? Yeah, 8 cards. Um, so what'll happen is the first round will pop. You're gonna have some cards in your hand, and you're gonna be playing a card down into your tableau, starting with the leftmost, and then there's a number in the top left corner that is going to be kind of like your initiative number. So after you both play cards, then whoever played the lowest one gets to choose from the buying area first.
Hmm.
And then you go from there. Then you play your next card. And if your next card is a higher number than the one you played, then you get to draw um, however many treasure maps you have out of the I think it's the sanctuary deck. I think it's what they call that.
Yeah.
The little card deck. And then those are ones that'll be face up and they'll give you either symbols or more victory point conditions or whatever. You do that same stuff for 8 rounds. And then the very first time people play this is the aha moment because then all 8 of those cards you flip face down and then you score them from right to left. So the opposite of the way you place them, you score them right to left. So then you flip over the furthest right card and oh crap, I didn't have all these symbols that I had earlier in the deal, so this one's not going to score, or
Yeah.
whatever. That's why those sanctuary cards are important because they can give you the symbols at the top because they don't flip. But so you score the right one, and then you score the next one, and so on and so forth, all the way back from right to left, and then you just tally up your points. that thing is always the thing that catches people that very first time. They're like, "Oh, I see now." And then it is such a short game. I mean,
Yeah.
because everybody's drafting and playing at the same time and everything. Like these take 15 to, probably 30 minutes or so, depending on it takes longer to score the game than it does to play the game. And my deal, just because everybody's, you know, counting up all their points and doing stuff. But this one it has a little expansion that just adds more gray cards into it, just more different sanctuary stuff, different
Ooh,
the,
what's
the
this?
I don't know. It's all in French, so
Gross.
I don't know if
No.
it's out yet. I mean,
15
obviously it's
new
not out yet.
meteor cards?
Meteor? Huh.
And ooh,
I'll
well,
have to
that's
keep my eyes
exciting.
for that. Yeah. But the People from Below expansion, it just adds more gray cards. And and it just gives you more scoring conditions and odds and ends like that. It's a really small, it's like a pack of cards is what you
Yeah.
get. But this one will always be on this. I mean, this one and like Castle Combo, those are like ones that I'll always carry with me when I go to deals, just because they're so fast and they're quick to learn, quick to play
Yeah.
again. Because even like that, like I said, if you play this with people that play it for the first time and they see how the scoring goes, then they automatically want to play again. Like they're like, okay, I know how to do this. We're gonna play again,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I can't count the number of times I've played this game in the last over the last 2 years. Played it so many times. But but yeah, uh, that's my 71 far away.
Nice. Yeah, this one's a good one. Um, it has just the right amount of thinking for the short amount of time you play.
Hmm. Yep.
All right. And to end this segment in a game that is completely the opposite of this, it is not light, and very in depth. It is my second new one to the list, and that is Guards of Atlantis 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, so
Um,
Onward's gonna be higher on the list then.
Onward, yeah, definitely made my top 10. I was convinced by a lot of people that that Onward was amazing. And not an okay game. Um, but Guards of Atlantis 2 is a MOBA style 2v2 game. So we'll see where this lands in the future. It depends on, I mean, in one of my gaming groups, it's kind of the staple game just because it requires that kind of almost level of commitment. But if you like the idea of, I mean, in my opinion, I mean, it even says it right here, zero luck team-based game. I absolutely love that. There's a reason why I'm not a big fan of Exceed or Onward in this MOBA case, is because I don't like randomness in these head-to-head games. I feel cheated if it doesn't work out. Like,
Right.
because in this, and whether it's from whatever, if the opponent draws better or if I draw better, it never feels like I earned the victory. In this game, if if I'm outplayed, I know my opponent outplayed me.
Hmm.
And that actually happened in the last game of this, where I was like, I had this perfect card set down, and I was like, I'm in the right position to play this card, and there's nothing that can happen. And it gets flipped, and then the opponent played a card that basically canceled mine, and I was like, damn, I forgot you had that. And that's this game, because every single hero has only 5 cards that they can play, and they'll play 4 of them in a given round. So you have ways to kind of count, like, defend against attacks, but eventually you're going to run out of cards if you're attacked too much. I love the team dynamic where you both have to be in sync with what each other can do to synergize and be like, if I'm doing this, then I really hope you know what I, because there's one thing that they do that I'm not the biggest fan of, is they really harp against no table talk. Like, you're not allowed to, like, tell, if me and Brad are on the same team, well, I can't show him my hand and be like, I'm gonna play this. So if I play this, you should play this. They don't want you to do that because they want to try and have that MOBA feel of like chaos of the battlefield. So like your teammate does something fucking stupid and you're trying to play the game, so you can't type at him to tell him what to do. Do it that way you will. Play, don't do Fog of War. Do Fog of War. Who gives a shit? It's your game. Um, but I've tried to follow what the the designers want. And yeah, like every hero is unique. I love the level up system because every single card, well, these are level, well, no, this level two counts. So like for example, whenever you actually level up, which you level up by getting a certain amount of money, uh, you will then take one card. And so there are five different colors: gray, silver, I think green, red, and blue. Oh, and yellow. But your gray and yellow are always staples, so it's really green, yellow, and blue that you're upgrading. So whenever you go from a level one to a level two, you choose a color, and there's two options for that, and it's kind of like in a different path of what your blue normally does, or it's the same one, kind of a better version of that. Whichever one you choose is the one that goes into your hand, but then the other one you flip and now becomes a permanent buff to one of your stats. So in this case, if you chose not to take tactical jump, you would flip it, and now you have a permanent +1 defense. So
Right.
I really like that level up system. In terms of the MOBA feel, I mean, Brad brought up Onward. Onward 100% feels more like a MOBA than Guards of Atlantis does. In this case, it's more of like overall theme of a MOBA, where these minions here just kind of are static. They just the heroes are the main focus of this game, and the minions just kind of add or subtract to your attack or defense. Um, but you want to remove them because once all the minions are removed from from one side's team, then the push happens to the next area, and once a second push happens, then that team wins. So it's way more clear cut, but the minions don't really do a lot of the work. It's the heroes, which I also
Hmm.
personally like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's a team based. We'll see how often I get it played. This can be played at two. It just becomes really sweaty, like when because you're controlling two characters, trying to read what your opponent can do. Um, the team element takes that away because you're not quite sure what your teammate might do, and same for them. But yeah, I much prefer this one. I've had a great time every single time I've played it. If I can keep getting it played, then it'll stay in the top 100. But that we'll see how this lands next year.
That'll work.
So that's it. That is my 71 and the end of this segment. So 3 segments down, 7 more to go. I hope everyone is enjoying. Got some even more fantastic games to talk about in the future. Um, yeah, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.